very young وماني فاهمة شيء من شيء.
Your uni time as well ما كنت بالجامعة؟
كنت 19. so دمرت mentally وصحت شي 50 كيلو. so physically I'm fat, obese actually, not fat, obese. I'm sick, I cannot see. ما عم بفهم شيء من شيء. I'm a kid, I'm very young يعني. I'm very young to deal with all of this. بعدين جاني أتاك تانية بإجري my left leg بعد شي 3 سنين. غير لي الدواء، صرت إبر. قال لي you need ربف. يعني أبشع 4 سنين بحياتي when I was on ربف. It was horrible, horrible, horrible. What I used to feel, شو بيجيني symptoms, الرجفان, الdepression. It was disgusting. على 25 26 عملت life change. خلص أنا ما بقى بدي. أنا اللي 8 سنين ميتة وأنا ما بقى بدي. وقفت كل شيء دواء، كل شيء حبوب أعصاب. كنت أخذ زاناكس، بروزاك، كله وقفته. ما بقى بدي شيء. كبيت الإبر.
كل تركي.
كل شيء كبيت كل شيء. ورحت عند الحكيم قلت له أنا ما بقى بدي this life. I cannot deal with it anymore. I really can't. I want to change my life. So كان في دواء جديد جاي من ألمانيا اسمه جيلينيا. So قال لي okay, we'll change your medicine. We'll take Gilenia. I lived 2 years with nature. So nature played a very big role in my life. طلعت من كل شيء toxic, كل شيء drugs, كل شيء حبوب, كل شيء medication, كل شيء doctors, كل شيء family. Now family sometimes they love you because how much they love you they're hurting you. يعني قد ايه بيحبوك، قد ايه امي بتحبني وقد ايه امي بتصلي لي، بس امي عم تأذيني لانه حرام. مريضة ما حدا يحكيها. أنا ماني مريضة وما فيك تقولي لي هيك، وأنت ما فيك تكوني هالقد للإيموشنز. مش دايماً إيموشنز كتير، يعني الإيموشنز كتير بتأثر مع الإنسان. so من 26 ل 29 سنة أنا بحالة healing, self healing, mentally قبل physically. so I was healing my mental health وautomatically لما I healed my mental health جسمي صار يتفاعل معي. ما تسألني كيف، ما حدا بيعرف كيف. mentally I can see, I can walk. بس أنا لا فيني أعلق إجري ولا قادرة أقشع ولا قادرة أعمل شيء. so mentally بقول no I'm fine, no I'm this. صرت أعرف شو بدي وشو ما بدي. صرت يعني في maturity صرت تفهم جسمك. هون صرت أضعف، صرت أعمل سبور، صرت أعمل أشياء اللي بحبها. بعدين على 30 هي it was الإيرا التايم اللي I shined. I am mentally, physically, morally كله stable. كل شيء عم بقدر to do it and I can deal with things differently. يعني أنا هلأ عمري 33. من شهرين اجاني lesions جديدة in my brain. So I had to change my medicine to injections which I'm not on Gilenya anymore. إذا بتقول لميرنا لما كان عمرها 24 أو 26 سنة ببكي بتفاعل بقول لا وليش وفيكتمايز. so أنا عم بحكي مع دكتور قلت له أوكي، قلت له أنا مش ناطرة الMRI تيقول لي أنا شو بني. أنا جيت لعندك قلت لك جسمي غلط، في شيء بجسمي عم بنمل، ما بقدر أحكي صح، عم بتعب. so أنا بدي MRI وأنا بدي أقول لك أنا شو بدي، مش أنت، مش الMRI. that's what I told my doctor and he told me yes you have active lesions that are doing all this for you and we need to change your medication. يعني انصدمت جمعة لأنه أنا ما بحب الإبر. the concept of injection in general is not a nice feeling. وخفت كيف جسمي بده يتفاعل على هالإبر لأنه أنا جسمي over reacts to any medication that I take. يعني كل شيء went extreme, my body goes extreme. تطلع حرارتي 41 ترجع تنزل 38 والdepression بيطلع. so it's very difficult for me. so هيدي هلا what I witnessed at this age is a maturity reaction, a very calm, a very soothing. لأنه المايند سيت تبعي موجود بحالة peace. I'm at peace with myself. okay so بعدين يعني شو بدي اقول لك، انا بحكي هلا فيني احكي بنص ساعه 10 دقائق بس انا عم بحكي عزة.
ما شاء الله عليك يعني
very inspiring. يعني لو you need to repeat it.
First of all, we welcome you here all in the MS Circle. Our first MS Circle, we will be discussing about social stigma. I welcome you all here, family and friends and MS people as well. In the beginning, this will be our first MS Circle to be discussed. And going on, every time we will choose a different topic. In the beginning of our opening of this session, I would like to welcome you all. And I would like to start with a question to Maryam. Just briefly, what is social stigma?
So, social stigma is negative association of any condition, be that a disease or behavior that's reflected badly on the individual for invalid reasons. So they feel injustice, they feel unfavored or unsafe to be themselves due to this condition or this disease they have.
Very nice. And in addition to that, what she mentioned, we will be also discussing the challenges around the stigma of living with MS, the preconceived notions in our community, the reaction to diagnose, friends respond to breaking the news, and breaking the stigma and awareness and knowledge about MS, and how to support and advocate a family member or a friend with MS. So let's start our session with the people with MS, and then we will move to the family members, and then the friends of the people with MS. So let me start with Rashid. You're a family member with a wife to a husband that have MS. إذا حابة تجاوبين بالعربي أو الإنجليزي أي حد فيكم خذوا راحتكم. It's a safe space. تقدرون تعبرون بالطريقة اللي تشوفونها مناسبة، وأهم شيء تكونون open. فخلونا نبدأ مع الكابلز اللي معانا اليوم، أستاذ سلطان وأم راشد. When were you first diagnosed؟ وتقدرين تضيفين على كلامه إذا حبيتي. تفضل.
I was diagnosed in 2014, and I went through the whole تشخيصات كلها خطأ. So sometimes they're telling me you have this, but no, I have this, and start feeling weird. So
تقدر تعطينا تفاصيل للحالة اللي كنت فيها؟
Okay. The first thing was my left side was always numb. Like I wake up, it's numb, and normally I think maybe I just slept on the left side, so there is nothing. But then I've seen that it's been starting to repeat, like one time a week, 2 times a week, 3 times. It started to be too much. Then I've noticed a severe fatigue, like I'm always tired. Even if I slept, I wake up feeling like I did not sleep. Having coffee, having everything. And this has pushed me to go to see a doctor. And when I saw the doctor, I explained my case. It's this and this. So he did like what hospitals do, but still did not do the MRI. He thought like I do not need an MRI. He thought maybe you only have something in your head, because the way I was explaining MS, I did not know MS. I'm explaining what I feel. So for someone who doesn't understand it, it looks like you're crazy. I'm telling him, I feel there is ants walking in my head. I feel there is things inside my head. They are walking. They are this. They are this. And I think I have electricity in my body. Like I don't know. Like God give me this power. I don't know what's happening. Doctor يسمع, because I get this electrical like a lot. Then he was like, maybe you should see a psychologist. I was like, no, I'm sure there is something. Let's do an MRI, please. He's like, okay. He did the MRI after I insisted, and when I came back for the results, I see in his face like he's watching the lesions. He's watching, but I'm seeing with him, but I don't understand. Like, but from his face, I know there's something. So I'm telling him, doctor, tell me please, I'm happy to know, is it cancer? خلاص, you are in a state that you want to know, no matter what, because it's been what, 2 months, 3 months, whatever it is, tell me, I'm fine with it.
It was your intuition and your body was telling you there was something wrong.
Yes, and you've been all this time telling, people are telling you, no, there is nothing wrong with you. Then he was like, no, you have MS. I'm like, what is the MS? He's like, they start explaining it to me, and this lead to a lot of problems that do you want me to go through it now, or tell me.
What was your reaction to that, Rashid?
أول شيء السلام عليكم. أنا يوم أخذتها يعني هو ما كنت أعرف أنا شو هو الMS أصلاً. يعني I didn't have any idea what is MS. أنا أول شيء كنت
دكتورة
يعني ما كنت أعرف شو يعني أفكر أن الMS يعني ديابيت، يعني ما كنت أعرف أنا أفكر سكري أو ضغط، ما كنت أعرف شو يعني الMS. أنا أخذتها 2016 صح؟ كنت يعني 2 years.
احنا عرسنا
2016.
فعندنا هني first you need to go through medical. We went through medical, so both of us sitting with the doctor, and she was a lady, and she's telling Shayma, you know he have MS, right? And
أنا أضحك أقول لها يعني عادي ما كنت أعرف.
Girl want to get married. He's like, yeah, he had MS, no problem. It's okay.
بس يعني ما كنت عارفة شو السيمبتومز شو
here's your medicine مع السلامة.
خلاص أنا ما كنت عارفة.
And she's asking like 2 or 3 times, like he have MS, you
she's
know.
asking me and
And I'm like,
okay,
yeah, she knows, خلاص, she knows, no issue.
Yeah.
And then she start living with it.
That's amazing story, and since we have people who are recently diagnosed with us here, we want to do a short icebreaker. You will see 2 cards in front of you. Right now, I'm feeling. You will write a word here. What are you feeling right now? And at the end of our discussion, we will write here. By the end of this meeting, I'd like to, and you will write what you would like to have, what kind of outcome would you like to see at the end. So after you write these 2 words, you will put the first one here, the second one here, and I will be pulling one of them, and then we will take it from there. Privately, please don't look at each other.
خلاص لا تاخذ كتير.
نكتب حتى الورقة الثانية.
Yes. Right now, I'm feeling. This is for the feeling. Very cute story, by the way. I'm sure they can provide details later on the side, huh?
حتى the second one.
second one لما نسكر.
The second one? The second one here?
اي لا the second one حتى يعني انه مثلا لما تخلصي شو حاسة.
Okay, the first one here. هنادي خلصتي the first one? Put your feeling here. لا شوفيها. The second one here. شيخة. الفيلينج here.
هاي اشوف ماركي هاي الفيلينج.
هاي الفيلينج.
الثانية
هاي وين؟ أي واحدة؟
I think
هاي الفيلينج صح؟
شو تبين نتيجة الميتنج تكون آخر شيء؟
شو الأوتكم يعني؟ هاي فيلينج
نتيجة الميتنج شو بينها تكون؟
هني الأوتكم.
بينها تكون مثلا
خلاص
ما يستوي تغششها. الفيلينج هني.
ليش احس الفيلينجز اكثر عن هاي؟
الفيلينج متشبع.
شعوركم
الثنتين بالغلط.
انتي حطيتي؟
انا حطيت.
هاي
فيلينج
فيلينج بس اوتكم نباه هناك.
قولي beginning و end.
اوكي beginning و end.
لحظة الحين اشوف هني.
feeling. لا أنا ما أقرأ الأنسرز بس أشوف الفيلينج.
اوكي هذه لقيتها. ياي حطيها هنا. هاي فيلينج
هاي
لا قاعدة
هاي النوم.
خلوها تعبر عن شعورها.
عبري.
هاي احمد.
لا الأوتكم فيلينج هي
أين هاي؟
بعدين بنشوف التليفون.
very nice. نتريا بس شيماء راشد. قبل ما نختار ورقة how are you feeling بشكل عام؟
Comfortable, very
In one
comfortable.
word. Comfortable?
a little nervous.
excited.
Good. Proud.
Inspired.
excited.
هنادي؟ happy. انزين خلونا نختار واحدة ونشوف. نخلطها. Right now, I'm feeling inspired by MS journey and stories. بدون ما نعرف منو كتبها. Someone can tell me more about inspired stories and journeys. Sophia, do you have?
Of course. Obviously, when Myrna was diagnosed, we were very young. We didn't have any knowledge of what MS is, and don't please. What MS is and what it means. But the older we grew, we started noticing that, you know, it's not something easy to be diagnosed with. I'm sorry, when I look at her, I get really sensitive. But it's inspiring to see how far she's come on her journey, and really the importance of mindset and having a strong support circle, family. And you know, the truth is, even if you have that, at the end of the day, the journey was her own. And the way that she lifted herself up, even though she was down in so many different parts of her life. I mean, the most important, her teenage years, right? She was in university, and she overcame that at such a young age. And now the way that she's handling it is something one for the books. صراحة.
But what was the first thing that went through your mind?
When I found out, I was 17, so I didn't really understand. I was like, oh, it's like, as Rashid said, diabetes, you know. And then the older we got, and we started seeing how it was progressing, and then we started doing research, I started realizing this is something quite, I don't want to say serious. I don't like using negative connotation, but it's challenging. And with time,
But since like it was years ago, let's move to Sheikha, to a recent friend that was recently diagnosed with MS. What's going through your mind now as a recent friend?
مثلا احنا كلنا متفقين ان اول ما حد يعني قريب علينا انه صاب شيء ما كان في awareness اللي وايد، حتى احنا ما كنا نعرف، كنا نشوف يعني هنا تتعب بسرعه. هي يعني مثلا في الاكتر وشي قامت مثلا يوم تصير مول ولا شيء من محل لمحل. تعرفون يوم اول ما ادش المحل دور كرسي سويت هالكايند بس يعني خلاص من يعني شخصت حالتها وشي قمنا احنا رحنا سوينا السيرش. يعني ما كنا حتى نعرف انه مثلا بيكون بهالطريقه، انه مثلا في فتره فيها اتاكس في فتره لا. ف هي كنا يعني متفقين انه ما كان في awareness بالطريقه.
يعني هاي التغيرات اللي انت شفتيها فيها، بس كيف هاي التغيرات اثرت عليك انت كصديقه؟
لا يعني مثلا يعني مثلا كيف تغير الشيء، انه مثلا انه خلاص قمنا انه يعني مثلا كذا نحن نسير مثلا نزورها، يعني انه مثلا نعرف يعني نقدر ان حالتها فنحن نسير لها. يعني هي وايد اشياء تغيرت عليها، يعني كانت في فتره انتقاليه، ويعني حتى يعني كيف اقول لكم انه مثلا عرفوا التشخيص لان هي كانت مسويه حاله، يعني هي كانت سايره عشان مثلا كسور في العظام بس عرفت عن هالشيء.
لاحظنا أن كل MS ستوري له سبب أنه راح وتشخص بالMS، وكلها كان تقريبا القصص يعني باختلافها متشابهة.
ضارت نافعة
فعلا. أيوة ميرنا عندك تعقب؟
ايه كان بدي اسالك، انت ما كنت تحسي شيء من قبل؟
صراحة قبل الحادث كنت أحس أشياء، كنت أسير حتى عند دكتورة عامة، كنت أسير عند وايد يعني دكاترة أشيك، قالوا لي حليبك ناقص، فيتامين د، أشياء عادية، ويسووا لي الفحص الشامل مال الأعصاب، هاي اللي بالمفرقة وهاي الأشياء، يقولوا لي خلاص ما في شيء رد البيت.
شو كنت تحسي أكتر شيء؟
تنميل، ثقل في الريل.
تنميل ولا بتحسي تنجلينج هيك؟
تنجلينج وحتى في كانت أماكن في يلدي يعني في الجسد تكون فيها كأنه نمنس
يا
وما أحس فيها، فقدت يعني الحاسية في وايد أماكن.
بعد ما سمعتي عن
بعد
ما سمعتي عن الجمعية الوطنية للتصلب المتعدد، شو الشيء اللي تتوقعينه منها أو شو اللي خطر في بالك ممكن يفيد؟
بصراحة يعني هالشيء وايد زين أنكم أنتم سويتوه عشان الناس تعرف عنه، يعني مثلا كجمعية الثلاسيميا أو الناس مثلا اللي فيهم توحد الحين يعني الناس عندهم awareness أكثر، فأتمنى بصراحة في المستقبل الناس إذا شافوا مثلا هاي فيها MS يقولون أوه هي نعرف هاي لأن شي
ونورماليز
فيكون عادي الشيء.
زميرنا هذا السؤال وايد مهم واعتقد كلنا we can relate. What would you tell your younger self as an advice أول ما تشخصتي بالMS؟
It will be okay. Everything will be okay. But my younger self will never understand what it means it will be okay. Now I will understand. It will be okay مش بس for your health, anything in life. It will be okay. Whatever شو ما we faced. We lost a job, it will be okay. We didn't get this deal, it will be okay. مرضنا, it's okay. We live in a time we're very lucky with advanced treatments, help of doctors, access to a lot of things. في غيرنا ما عندهم access to food, to health. بس احنا we have access, alhamdulillah, we are blessed for that. It's gonna be okay.
Can you describe a moment that you felt you were judged أو شيء أثر عليك ما تنسينه؟
I was judged مش بالMS. MS I was never judged, more I was pitied. إنه حرام. I was judged for being obese. لأنه أنا I'm healing with my MS. It was obesity on the side from all the steroids, the depression and everything. This is when I was judged. So it made me to be the person I am today, not judging anyone. لأنه ما حدا بنعرف behind this person شو عم بيحس وشو عم بيعاني. إنه كل واحد منا عنده his own pain. نحن اليوم كهيومنز نحن بنتوجع كل واحد بطريقته. وجعك هو منه وجعي، وجعك منه وجعي، وجعي هو منه وجعك. يعني نحن we don't measure it. Each one measures it in a different way.
Interesting. وفعلا احنا كلنا يمكن كMS واهل للMS واصدقاء للMS ممكن كلنا حاسين بالمعاناه بس مو بعارفين كل واحد في اي ليفل من هاي المعاناه. يعني سلطان انا احب اوجه لك هالسؤال maybe because you're the only male here between us. وهالشيء وايد مهم ان نسمع جوابك. Do you feel sometimes you need to downplay the symptoms إنه يعني إنك أنت تبين عمرك قوي ونورمال I'm not affected by it يعني elaborate more about downplaying the symptoms.
Think about it like this. I'm married. I have 2 kids, and I don't want them to see me weak. I don't want them to see me like when I pick up my son and play with him, I get tired. But she's waiting for her turn, Nora. Like, Baba, and I'm like, yes. And I push myself, no problem. You have to do it. And I always think that I am the provider. So I relate also the MS to job, to work. The stress was always there. The stress was always there. The risk of losing a job, the risk of not doing my job right because of MS or something. and I always like, of course, I had not to share this fear with my wife, because.
So you feel many moments مرت عليك that you had to really downplay the symptoms.
Yes,
وانك انت
yes.
تمثل انك انت ما فيك شيء وان انت بخير مثل ما قالت. It happened.
It happened a lot, of course. Yeah.
بنرجع لفاطمة ما سألناها سؤال. فاطمة بما أن I was diagnosed, she was very young when I was diagnosed, فحابين نسمع منها how can you help to break the stigma?
Okay, when Muna was diagnosed, I was at that age I was in university. I was studying social work, so خدمة اجتماعية. So I'm really passionate about social work and social services and society in general. So at that time, when she told us that she had MS, basically, I started to do more research about what's MS and how I can basically support her. What's her perspective? Maybe I dig a little bit more deep because I am from a social work background. I was thinking and I was sitting with her actually about a reflection of her feelings, reflection of her thoughts. Maybe I was young at that age, but it's important for me to support her in any way. So at that time, we had so many projects in social work background. We had so many projects regarding society, regarding theories, regarding even therapies, all of that. So I took her case, so many cases in my projects. I did a lot of reports and I presented to my friends, and not only to my friends, my professors, they also encouraged me to present to other social work students regarding her case and how she overcome the challenges at that time. So that's as Fatma and as a student in university, this is how at that moment, this is how I overcome that stigma that happens between students. So there were a lot of actually students saying, okay, does it consider as she's people of determination? Does she has so many challenges? And they started to relate to other also diseases. So that's for me at that moment, that's how I basically did a small, tiny awareness in my classroom and in other classrooms as well. That's
very inspiring. I can see the tears in her eyes. And I will always feel proud that she used my case in her graduation project. And this question will take us to Hanadi. Hanadi, after listening to these stories and the people that were diagnosed years ago, what's going through your mind? Share with us.
exactly كيف يعني من أي طريقة من أي ناحية.
As a recently diagnosed with MS,
Okay.
and you're listening to friends, families, fathers, mothers, sisters, what's going through your mind?
Actually listening to other people's stories يعني تخلي الواحد inspired إنه في hope، في أشياء حلوة بتستوي، حتى لو الواحد بيوقف يعني في مرحلة من عمره على مرض ولا على تعب ولا على شيء، في أشياء جاية حلوة، ففي hope الواحد يكمل، يقدر يكمل. وأنا عندي بعد أمي وأخوي بعد فيهم MS و they were diagnosed يعني years ago. فبالعكس هالشيء حتى يخليني أنا
So you know what was MS before يعني
Yes,
you
but
were
I never really thought that I will have it as well. Yeah, when I had it I was 23. Yes, and now I'm 27. So yeah, it's almost like 4 or 5 years.
Well, since you have family member with MS, do you feel like there was challenges to find resources and information about MS, or was it there يعني in our community بشكل عام here in the UAE specifically? Did you feel like did you have those resources, or it was a challenge to find resources?
It was not really a challenge because my mother has it, and she has it like 15 years ago or even more. Yeah, but she was diagnosed 15 years ago. Yes, she actually took me to her doctor, and he was the one who diagnosed my situation at that time. So yes, it was not really challenging for me, but it was challenging for me to accept it, that in this age I have it. Yes.
So let's wrap up with this question. It's for everyone, and everyone everyone can like give us their perspective of it. What do you think, as an MS society, this National MS Society, what kind of results or outcomes do you want to see? What kind of like what's the goals you want to see this society achieving in the community and breaking the stigma? Like, tell us your thoughts in general. Let's go with Mirna.
So on a personal level, I would love to build awareness. I would love to spread my experience with people just to facilitate their process and just make it easier, smoother for them. I learned it in a way that I don't wish anyone to learn it, or just if my words and other MS patients that are free to speak out loud will help others and just build the awareness, then this is something I would love to do. This is the outcome that I would be looking for. And I think we live in a time where there's platforms that you can reach maximum people, which is social media, and it's the easiest way to spread awareness and to talk about things rather than making it a taboo. And people don't know what MS is. So people always think, oh, cancer, it's always based there. But MS, and I just want to add something to her story. A lot of people have MS, but they don't know that they have it until they get a very FVS. So she got an accident, as her friend said. She was lucky enough to have the accident to realize at a young age. And my doctor, I will never forget, when I was 18, he said, you're very lucky you got MS in your eyesight because it's the vision. And it was an obvious thing. Others have it. I know someone that he has MS for the past 4 years, and he just found out 2 weeks ago, and unfortunately he's paralyzed. Unfortunately for that. If he knew 4 years ago and he was treated, so that's just the awareness. People to go to hospitals, not to be shy, to go and ask, I feel numb, I don't feel right, to understand your body. Because you know, and I always say that nobody gives you signals but your body. Your body is very smart. So it gives you signals. There's something wrong with me. What is it? Heal it.
Same
what he's saying, yeah. And you convinced your doctor. You're like, no, I want it, because you know what you want. And when I decided that, no, doctor, I don't want these medicines anymore, my body doesn't want them anymore. It's the same like what happened to me 2 months ago. And I went and I told doctor, I want to do an MRI. He said, you just did 6 months ago. I'm like, something is wrong with me. Something is wrong with me and I need an MRI. And it's true, I had active lesions. So yeah.
Yeah, I remember one MS advocate also once said, listen to your body.
Really?
Yeah, she said, listen to your body. You will know more than
you will
the
know
doctor.
more.
Yeah.
And it's not wrong to say no to doctors. Doctors read results. They don't read you as people. Yeah, you know, like, because it's like you're your own person, so you know what's happening, you understand what's happening.
I can add to this that since 2014 until today, I feel like I can deal with my MS easier because
you understand your body.
I understand my body. I know what trigger me.
صح.
I know what trigger my symptoms. So
شو هن فيك تقلنا؟
yeah, for example, heat. I cannot.
Yeah.
Very cold. It's alleged.
Continue, sorry.
Heat. The heat.
ساعات بس أنا عم برجف يعني ما بقى أنا so sorry.
So one of my triggers is heat. I cannot handle heat. I would say pushing my energy level. Like I know when I have to stop. Before I did not know. It was very hard to change my relationship with my friends. All of it has to change. And in this time, you will know who are your real friends. Why? Because I cannot go out every time. I don't feel like it easily. I don't feel like it. That's it.
Yeah, I remember in one of my interviews, I mentioned that your relationships after you're diagnosed and you understand your body and you understand everything that's going in your life, all your relationships is re-evaluated and it becomes transparent. You can see people transparent. Which one you should keep in your circle and which one you should let
صح. It's so true. I can so relate. Adding to what you're saying, أنا بفهم جسمي إنه أنا I have to sleep earlier. So 10, 11, 10 maximum 10 خلاص I'm off. So my friends support me with that إنه they will never push me to stay late. إنه أنا بوعى 6 I have to sleep at 10 لأنه my body shuts down. I cannot lift my hands anymore. خلاص. So the people around you have to understand your body to help you to know where you put your energy. لأنه أنت بتوصل لمحل your energy بتكون طاقة معينة بدك تحطها بمحلات معينة. You know عندك طاقة أنا بدي أحطها بعائلتي وبشغلي ما بدي أحطها ب someone to push me not to do something. أنت ما رح تعمل لي adding value. You're investing in your own self. عرفت إنه طاقتك بتنقي وين تحطها لمين تعطيها إمتى تعطيها وإمتى ما تعطيها وهيدي بتتعلمها through when you as you grow. أنت وأنا ب 27 28 ما بعرف. You know لا my friends ولا هيدا ولا دايما
just like Sheikha mentioned when they're out with Hanadi and sometimes
هي هذه أقول لك إياه إن friendship is not about outing ولا طلعات يعني إحنا مثلا إحنا نفهم قدر وضعها فحتى لو هي ما تقدر تطلع ويانا تعرف إيش تسوي يصير ناخذ تيك أواي نرسل بس عشان ما أكسر روحها وما لا نحن نقولها اوكي نحن خلاص
نحن بنجي عليه. انا بس بدي زيد شيء عندي my very close childhood friend قاعده هونيك بس بدي وجه لها تحيه بس تاخرت بس ما فينا نقعد معنا. she's my childhood friend and Sophia is my childhood friend as well. These people grew up with me stage by stage يعني step by step وعادة بيقولوا انه MS patients it's a very depressing disease. You have to go see a therapist, help, support. أنا ما رحت عند حدا. أنا my friends were my therapy لأنه هن عم يفهموني هن كبروا معي بهيدا الشيء. I don't need a therapist. أهلي أختي رفقاتي يعني هن 2 3 بينعدوا على الأصابع. حيلا شخص برات هيدا السيركل I don't want them inside. They will never understand what I want. They will take my energy and they will not understand what we're going through. So I'm sorry طولت بالanswer, but I was just elaborated. I hope I elaborated enough on your point.
Actually, this is what we want to hear. And Rashid, what يعني to go back to our original question, what kind of outcomes you want to see? What kind of results? يعني what's your vision? Tell us more about what you think about this.
الصراحة يعني نفس ما قالوا كلهم الأويرنس يعني أنا أشوفه شيء ضروري. الواحد يعني عشان يعرف يتعامل مع هالشخص لازم أول شيء يكون عنده يعني باك جراوند عن الام اس، يكون عارف شو الام اس عشان يعرف كيف يكون كومبريهنسيف ويا هالشخص هذا. لأن أنا أحس إنه يعني سايكولوجيكال يعني وايد يلعب دور مع المرض هذا. يعني الواحد إذا ما كان مرتاح ويعني ونفس ما قالوا إذا يعني أصدقاء they are stressing you فما يعني ما بيتم عندك ولا حد. فلازم نكون aware على هالمرض يعني نعرف شو المرض ونعرف كيف نتعامل مع البيشنتس.
أنا بضيف على كلام أم راشد. Awareness is a very general term. الصراحة awareness has to be categorized. صار فيها awareness حق patients نفسهم. That's an effort. بعدين عندك awareness for the support system they have, family and friends. And then awareness for the community. And أنت عندك several arms you want to improve to actually for the entire awareness to happen in the community level. You cannot address this patients or families without the community. You cannot address the community without. كل عنصر مهم. If you address it right, you really build the support system for the MS patients. They will not have to go for all these aspects. يعني what took 10 years to learn, sometimes MS can be a blessing. What takes people a lifetime to learn, how to really save your energy for the important things, how to really organize your day, how to really assess your relationships with people, how to really take care of your body. Sometimes people reach their 50s, 60s, they don't know how to do these things. MS sometimes hits hard, but it really directs you into the right way to really take care of your body, to really reevaluate your life, your options, your career options, your family options, who's important in your life. البداية صعبة والadjustment you have to give it its time. يعني don't expect anyone diagnosed with MS to do that. It's a process. عطوهم 6 months, 1 year, 2 years, whatever time they need to really overcome. If they don't process it right, بيطلع بشكل ثاني في حياتهم. بيطلع بشكل fatigue, بيطلع بشكل depression, psychological. الحين أنا يعني looking to patients who have MS, looking to patients who don't have MS. أنا أشوفهم very blessed because they have this level of awareness that most people don't have. what we want is to get the people who are not aware in the community to understand this aspect of it. It takes a mass effort, but it's easier now using the communication or communication tools we have, social media or whatever. Even addressing the healthcare sector, when you address physicians, it's a repeated scenario. You had to go to one doctor, second doctor, third doctor, fourth doctor to get a diagnosis. صح, each MS patient has his presentation different, what we assess. لكن in your case it should be easy. You have 2 family members who are affected. It's usually familial in nature. Typical, numbness, tingling, fatigue. They have to really have the awareness among the healthcare sector. هذا هني عن توجهات مثلا الحكومة أو whoever is providing the services مثلا health services إنهم really يحطون تخصصات محددة حق الأمس not only من الدكاترة النيرسينج psychology كل شيء لأن أمس بحد ذاته condition بس له أشياء ثانية associated with it. occupational مثلا الطب الوظيفي أو العلاج الطبيعي أو مثلا الفارم. لازم يكون عندك سنتر متكامل صدق على اساس لان عدد الحالات قامت تزيد، التشخيصات والحالات قامت تزيد، يمكن عشان عندنا better tools to diagnose صحيح، لكن في نفس الوقت يمكن الكوميونتي اللي احنا عايشين، يمكن اللايف ستايل، يمكن الاكل، يمكن التشينجز، يمكن البولوشن، يمكن 100,000 عامل ما في محدد، فلازم يكون عندنا مركز متخصص ريلي يعطي المريض حقه من ناحيه كل النواحي. انت قلتي كان عندك الادفانتج انه تو جو اون ترايل، احنا نسميه كلينيكال ترايلز، ادويه تجريبيه، التجارب السريريه. هذا لازم يكون في ادفانتج لي حق مرضانا. في وايد MS ترايلز ياسا تصير في مستوى العالم، ليش ما يكون عندنا البيشنتس هي الادفانتج بدل ما هم يسافرون حق ترايلز برا، ليش ما ترايلز اللي هنا؟ هذا بيكون هيوج ادفانتج. عندهم الادفانتج انهم عندهم الابديتد تكنولوجيز، الابديتد مثلا ميديسنز، الابديتد تريتمنتس رايت ان ذا كومفورت اوف ذير اون هوم. هذا لازم يكون اجين ريسيرش سنتر مع مركز الامس على اساس صدق يعني المجهود كله يصب لمصلحه المريض والكوميونتي. هذا نظره شموليه. وهذا هني دور الجمعيه بيكون تفعل.
دكتوره ما شاء الله you're 100% right. ليش؟ لأن when you categorize you will know what to target. Awareness of a friend is different of awareness of a spouse. She will live with me every day, every hour, every minute. Not like my friend. Okay, I'll meet my friend when I have the energy, when I'm in my best time. I'll meet my friends. So she need to know what to expect.
The other side.
The other side, because with me 24. And we can relate to this. The first years of marriage, it was difficult. Yeah. Like she was not convinced. Like you don't want to take me out. You're not tired. No this.
لا لأن مرات التعب ما يكون واضح، هو الشيء هو يحس في شيء بس نحن ما نشوف هالشيء اللي هو يحس فيه جوا، فما نكون
ميرنز ماذر بعد يعني، أو ممكن هنادي قصتها مختلفة لأن أوريدي عندها في البيت ناس فيهم MS، فكيف كان؟
يعني أنا حتى ريلي لأن أنا يعني الMS في بداية زواجي هي من 5 سنين، ففي البداية يعني I can relate to this actually. كان بنفس الطريقة يعني حتى الMS مثلا خاصة حق البنات أو حق الحريم مع الحمل والولادة، الMS شوي في صعوبات أكثر عن مثلا يعني الريايين، لأن الميلز يعني هم ما يأثر عليهم على كثر ما يأثر على الحريم، يقدرون ياخذون أدويتهم بشكل عادي مثلا خلال الحمل والولادة شيء، يعني حق الحريم ما نقدر ناخذها.
الحرمة لازم تنقطع فترة طويلة 9 شهور 10 شهور
حتى سنة. فأنا أصلا يعني يتني 2 attacks في الحملين، يعني في الحملين، في الحمل الأول والحمل الثاني. الحمل الثاني يعني الأتاك كان يعني نص جسمي بارالايز في نص الحمل في الشهر السادس. فكنت حتى عيني يدي ريلي هكذا كان بارالايزد، يعني تخيلي مع الحمل بارالايزد. فكانت يعني الشيء كان وايد يعني حتى خلاني أخذ قرار يعني فترة إن أنا ما أبغي أجيب زيادة عيال عشان عقب يمكن ما بقدر، فهمتي؟
I can relate. أنا بنتي عمرها 8 سنين الحين، وكانت my last attack يعني paralyzed after I gave birth directly. فبعدها جتني من خلال هال8 سنوات جتني هجمه واحده بس يعني مع الميديكيشنز. فاتس ريسكي يعني لازم الوحده اذا بتترك الميديكيشن يعني to grow her family it's a big decision يعني it's risky خصوصا اذا كانت الهجمه تاثر physically مو بس نرجع للاوتكمز والجولز. فاطمه اذا عندك اي اضافه على كلام مريم do you see as a researcher or as an analyst, do you see it's doable, we can achieve these goals, we can like the categorizing, the level of awareness, يعني elaborate about that.
Yes, definitely I agree with what Mariam said. In addition, yes, we have community awareness, but maybe from a government kind of a view, we also need an awareness, not only for MS people, but for people with determination in general. Because now, even when we are talking about MS society, which is, I'm glad there is MS society. I remember when I was diagnosed, I remember the first thing I'm telling her about the resources. Is there any MS society in UAE? And that time, if it was there in MS society, it was not activated at all. So MS societies is not only MS society in general, any society like autism society, blind society, whatever societies in the community, it helps. It will be the hub. It will be the hub of the resources that whoever work in these MS societies, it will be hub for hospitals, for connection, for support group, and so many other things. As well from a government kind of a view, because still we are looking as people of determination as a separate segment, as a separate policies, as a separate strategies or whatever. But we need to mainstream. I was recently in a disability mainstreaming in government, in AD government. It was very interesting to see how many people of determination, including MS patients or MS people, to be in this spectrum of being a disability, because now you are not looking for a disability in just one way as being a separate segment. Because if we are talking really in general, we are looking at any older citizen today, it can become a people with disabilities. It's a spectrum. It's not only just for a certain segment of people who has a medical condition. History even in developing in communities, people with disabilities in general, including MS people, they were in a kind of charity kind of community, which is people, as you said, it's not being judged, but as being pitied for having this disability. So first it was a charity kind of a community, and then it turned to a medical kind of community. So now we are looking as an MS as MS patients instead of MS people, that they can't have any, they can't live their life. Exactly, it's about the function. It's not about the disability itself. So now we are moving to a more right-based, or we can say right-based kind of community and kind of awareness, which is all people now, whether they were people of determination or not, they have different kind of functionality, which we can support them in so many different ways. So now we are looking more an awareness of a wide-based kind of model, which is, it's about their rights. It's not about being separated, being stigmatized in having a disability, and being marginalized within the society, within the policies, within the services, within their society in general. So we are looking forward in maybe a government kind of a view, that it's not about being separated as an alone kind of initiatives or services or societies, but it's within the community itself. This is maybe
I would label it as a mindset shift of the community.
Yes, I agree.
Now we are working on an individual mindset changes. It should be a mindset shift in a community level, and that sometimes takes time. We have to be realistic when you expect awareness to happen at the community level, and this is a must for everyone. We have to change this normal myth that is perceived by people.
Mm-hmm.
What's normal for you may be different for you, may be different for you. So the myth, there's no such thing as normal per se. So we should stop. I don't like to say normalize MS, because the myth of normal, even for non-MS, is different. We have to just allow the integration and proper understanding, and create the mind shift in a community, which takes time. And then assessment of the results every 6 months, 1 year, 2 years. It has to be evaluated, really. We have to have this discussion again to ask you, do you notice any change in 1 or 2 years?
Exactly.
What are the activities that have been done? You as a wife, did you see any change when you discussed with someone who's not aware about MS? Did you notice any change? So this usually takes time, but this is the aim we should head for.
So a question for all. Do you see that happening? Or in your perspective, do you feel like it, what's the timeline for it to happen? Sophia, Sheikha.
أنا يعني I think it's happening يعني من اللي أنا شفته يعني she's my childhood friend كنا نداوم نفس المكان فكان صعب بالنسبة لها مثلا تحصل تخفيف ساعات في الدوام وقدمت استقالتها وشي بس الحين أشوف بعد عندنا يعني مثلا في مريضة ثانية وأعطوها تخفيف لأن أنا من HR وشي فأحس إنه already هالشيء it's happening بس بهالكوميونتي والهب اللي يدخلون عنه بيكون easier.
Oh, faster, ممكن.
Hey, faster.
Do you agree?
Yeah, I think with the transparency, you know, حتى as I was, you read my mind, I wanted to say to incorporate in a corporate level as well. You know how in the West في مثلا diversity and inclusion وكذا يعني it's important to know because for whoever's working, you're at work most of your day, right? And sometimes you might not feel your best, it might not be a good day for you. And I mean, it's easier for the employer and the employee, that synergy. So you read my mind. So I think with transparency is key, honestly, which is incorporating at the government level and raising different segments of awareness.
It should not be used against them, even indirectly.
Absolutely, not, but more understanding, you know, of why maybe a performance level, وكذا. So it's, yeah.
I can add to transparency. The reason I came with my wife, at first my idea was to come with my friend. But then when I was speaking with Russia, we mentioned about a group in WhatsApp that I have, like maybe 20 males. And neither of them want their partner to know. It's like a secret, it's like this. So I hope this message can reach them. At the same time, I want to thank you for supporting me, for doing, for noticing like things. And I've seen when Hamdan, she asked Sultan, did you hide it? You were shaking, so you know I was hiding things. And don't think I'm not noticing what you are doing. Thank you so much. Aww. Thank you so much. We always have to think like, I think maybe people with MS here always had this idea that how is the other thinking, the partner, the friend.
Support systems are very important.
It's a partnership.
Yeah, it's a partnership, and it doesn't matter if it's a wife, it's a friend, it's a mother, it's a father, it's a sister, it's a daughter. Support system is very important, and I think I speak for you all when we say we really want to see these outcomes. And just to wrap up our circle for our first circle for today, I'm very proud of you all to have the courage to be here and to discuss openly all these topics we discussed. So at the end of our session, I'm just going to choose one of these to see what is written here. MashaAllah, story. By the end of this meeting, I'd like to be friends with everyone in this room.
Wow.
Learn from each person's experience, share my journey in helping others. Do you agree all?
Of course. Of course.
You all want to be friends after this circle?
Absolutely.
Without knowing who wrote this, okay, I personally, as an MS person and as a member in the society and as a moderator of the circle, I feel proud of knowing you all, and I have a very high respect for people who have the courage to support their loved ones that were diagnosed with MS or any other very challenging illness. So at the end of this circle, if any one of you have a final say, who want to talk from the heart to their partner they came with, this is your moment. Let's start with Sophia.
She's gonna cry.
Happy tears.
Honestly, she already knows. I tell her on a daily basis. You know, sometimes when I'm having a bad day, and then I see, you know, someone that's struggling or having the challenges that she goes through, I respect her and appreciate her, and she inspires me with the strength and resilience daily, honestly. And what I love about her is that it's, you know, some people, it's like a life sentence for them, but she shows day in and day out that it's not, and that you can actually thrive. And as you said, it's sometimes a blessing in disguise that she found her power and she found her purpose in inspiring others and sharing her journey with them, and giving them hope and showing them that it's not what you read on Google. So yeah, very proud of you and always inspired by you.
Thank you.
Mariam, what do you want to say to your loved one?
You're putting me on the spot. I've said this many times to you, and I've said it, you know, to other people as well. What you do as an MS patient or as an MS individual, people without MS cannot do. You have the strength and energy that really lights up the room, and I can see that in all your communication with others. I always say behind your back, I'm so proud to be your sister. I'm so proud to say this person is the one I would go to the moon and back for. And I know she would do the same thing. So just keep doing what you're doing, because really it starts with one person that ignites the spike that will create really the change across a larger scale. And it's a cascading effect. So it's a domino effect. You start with one, and then 10 in a group, and then 100 in a conference, and then 1,000 in a center, and you go on from there.
I'm proud of you.
So don't stop.
Fatma, what do you would like to say to your loved one?
For me, maybe because I'm the youngest in the family, so you were like a mom to me, so it's different for me maybe because I feel like I'm your daughter. So for me, like I'm really, always looking up to you. I'm glad to be in MS societies as always. I like to support. I remember the first time that we went for that MS event exactly, and I was really inspired at that moment, and I saw your journey, and I'm always proud. I always talk about you with my friends, even in my work. I was always talking about you to the point that everyone is following you on the Instagram. So I'm just like, I'm always here for you. I love you so much.
You too. Sheikha, what do you have to say to your loved one?
I want to say that she's so brave, inshallah, and I'm so proud of her.
I think you can say more.
I get so emotional.
Shayma, Rashid, what do you have to say to your loved one?
I just want to say, I'll be very, I just want to say to him that no matter what happened, if you're taking us out or no, we still love you. And really, I feel when I sit with them and they share with me their experiences, I really feel a lot of things maybe before I was not aware of it, but it's really helpful, and I'm so proud of you.
Sometimes words are not enough to express. We can see.
يعني حتى لو هم يقول لي أنا شيء أحس مرات إن أقول لا، يعني مو واضح عليه شيء، بس هو يكون يحس. يعني أنا صدق وايد أتمنى أن الناس نفس ما قلت، أن الكوميونتي يكبر عشان الناس تحتفل الدوامات، تحتفل كل شيء. يعني يحاولون يكونوا شوي comprehensive with MS، لأن أنا شفت عليه وايد ستريس. يعني جاته فترة صدق كانوا وايد ستريس من الدوام، فصدق يعني لازم هالكوميونتي يكبر شوي عشان يتفهمون ان الناس اللي عندهم MS هم يعني ينتجون، بس لازم شوي يتريون عليهم، يعني ما يكونون. عرفت؟
I agree, we all agree. Let's go the other way around. الحين the MS person, what do you say to your loved one?
Sorry to interrupt, I'm not supposed to speak, but we also have one person there. I know, I'm sorry. Would you like to say something to me again? Of before.
Join us. Your name?
Alexandrine.
Okay. Alexandria, what do you have to say to Mirna for your loved one?
She is the strongest person I know in my life. I don't know how she does it. She inspires me day by day, with everything that she's going through. And then with my problems, looking at her, it's humbling. And I learn from her every day, actually. So I do look up to Mirna, and her strength is something very inspiring.
Mirna is an exceptional story because she was coming here alone, actually, and her friends surprised her. That's why she's being very And for all of us who suffer from MS, we don't expect they understand and their support, but they have their own stories, as you can see, obviously. Even our loved ones have their own story with our MS. Not only us, we have our stories with MS. So at the end of this,
especially if you know before that they diagnosed that they have.
She knew before I knew because she's the doctor and she understands what it was. So at the end of the circle, if anyone has anything to add before, or if you want us to read one more of the outcomes. I think everyone is curious to read one more, yeah? Okay, let's go with it. Okay, we already discussed it. By the end of this meeting, I'd like to have more awareness about MS. So I think we can wrap up with this, like, inshallah, this can be one of our goals and outcomes, and we would like to see you in other circles, inshallah. And I'm sure all of you left an impact in each of one of us here today. And the person who wrote, we would like to be friends with everyone in this room. I'm very happy to be your friend, and I'm always open to growing our MS community and our MS society. And you can reach out to me whenever you feel like it on social media, anonymously or mentioning yourself. So thank you all. I would like to thank the friends, the families, the relatives, the MS people in particular. And now we can go eat if anyone is feeling thirsty or hungry.
Thank you so much.
We have to thank you.
شكرا شيخة. الشكر للجميع وللMS Society and the support of our leadership in particular. والحمد لله إن now this is a first step, and this is like the first circle with many circles to come. We are very happy to get your suggestions and ideas about next topics. What kind of topics do you want to hear in the next circles? If you want to join, if you want to lead one of the circles. هاي كلها أشياء إحنا حابين نسمعها منكم. Or you can email them to us, or you can text Rasha or Ghalia or even me, and we will keep growing together. شرايكم? We grow together.
Definitely.
Inshallah. It's a journey. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
And we would like to